Welcome to Epochs Across Eras, where we uncover the stories that shaped our world. Today we enter the heart of the Eastern Zhou era, the Spring and Autumn period. Named after the Spring and Autumn Annals, this was a time of rising warlords and constant political maneuvering. Zhou kings remained in name, but power had shifted to regional lords who now led their own armies, brokered treaties, and crowned themselves kings. Yet this wasn't just an age of war, it was a time of cultural and intellectual growth, as thinkers like Confucius sought to restore order through ethics and virtue. Join us as we explore how noble rivalries, strategic alliances, and great reforms laid the groundwork for China's future. Imagine a world where titles mean nothing and alliances shift like sand. Welcome to the Spring and Autumn period, an age of noble ambition and endless rivalry. With Zhou kings sidelined, powerful states like Jin, Qi, Chu, and Qin battled for supremacy. But this wasn't chaos without structure. It was a sophisticated game of politics, reform, and philosophy. Rulers hired brilliant advisors, enacted bold reforms, and debated the meaning of virtue, power, and order. Today we explore the strategies, alliances, and thinkers that defined this period, and how the seeds of modern China were planted in a time of ancient upheaval. During the Spring and Autumn period, the Zhou king no longer held power. Instead, dominant states rose to prominence, each led by powerful rulers known as vied, or hegemons. These hegemons weren't emperors, but they led military alliances and acted as protectors of the Zhou court, at least in theory. The first and most famous hegemon was Duke Huan of Qi, who ruled in the 7th century BCE with the help of his chancellor Guanzhong, a brilliant reformer. Together, they centralized Qi's government, increased agricultural productivity, and formed coalitions to defend the Zhou royal family and suppress rebellion. Other powerful states followed. The state of Jin became a dominant military force. Chu, a southern state originally considered semi-barbarian, expanded rapidly and challenged traditional Zhou norms. Qin in the west slowly built the strength that would one day unify all of China. These hegemonic rulers weren't just warlords, they were strategic thinkers, diplomats, and reformers. They negotiated peace treaties, formed leagues, and hosted summits among nobles. Warfare and diplomacy went hand in hand. The system created a balance of power, but one that was always shifting. As more states sought dominance, conflict increased. The road to the warring states had begun. Amid political disorder, a new voice emerged: Confucius. Born in 551 BCE during the late Spring and Autumn period, Confucius wasn't a noble or a general. He was a philosopher, teacher, and reformer who believed that moral virtue, not power, was the true foundation of a just society. Confucius looked to the early Zhou as a golden age of harmony, where rulers governed by Li, ritual, Ren, humaneness, and Yi, righteousness. He taught that a good ruler led by example, earning the loyalty of subjects through moral behavior, not coercion. He also emphasized filial piety, respect for elders, and hierarchical relationships as the key to societal stability. His ideal was a merit-based bureaucracy where talent and virtue outweighed birthright. Though Confucius never achieved political power in his lifetime, his ideas deeply resonated with later generations. His teachings were recorded in the Analects, forming the foundation of Confucianism, which would become China's guiding ideology for over 2,000 years. In a time of war and shifting alliances, Confucius offered a vision of order rooted in ethics, not swords. His legacy outlasted the battles, influencing emperors, scholars, and families across centuries. The spring and autumn period wasn't just about war. It was also a laboratory of reform. To survive, states needed to adapt. This led to bold experiments in governance, law, and military organization. Qi, under Guanzhong, introduced centralized taxation and standardized coinage. Jin built a complex bureaucracy to manage its growing territory. Zhou developed new administrative regions and promoted military commanders by merit. These reforms increased efficiency and strengthened state power. Rulers competed not only on the battlefield, but in political innovation. They attracted advisors, strategists, and philosophers to help them govern smarter and fight better. Yet, as reforms made states stronger, balance crumbled. The old Zhou ideals of harmony gave way to cold calculations of dominance. Some states grew too powerful, while others formed coalitions to counter them. Battles became more frequent, more organized, and more deadly. By the late spring and autumn era, the number of independent states had dropped from over 100 to a few dozen. The stage was set for an even more brutal age, the Warring States period, where kings would rise, philosophies would clash, and China's fate would be decided. The spring and autumn period was a time of noble ambition and ethical awakening. While regional lords battled for supremacy, thinkers like Confucius proposed a better way, a vision of virtue, order, and harmony. States reformed, adapted, and evolved, planting the seeds for future empires. Though conflict defined the headlines, this era gave birth to China's enduring values. It showed that even in chaos, wisdom can flourish. The spring and autumn period wasn't just a chapter of war, it was a turning point in how China thought, ruled, and lived. It set the tone for the next era of even greater intensity, the Warring States. But before that storm came the spark. Thank you for watching Epochs Across Eras. If you enjoyed this journey through history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Let's keep exploring the past to uncover the stories that shaped our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning, and keep exploring the epochs that define us all.